Good morning. Today we're going to do some patterning and see how you can take some easy shapes and a little bit of time and turn it into beautiful artwork. I'm using the same color, and because this project reminds me of poppies, which is a type of flower, I'm going to be using reds. Go ahead and open up your pens. You want to make sure and shake them. You should shake them with the lid on, just saying. That's going to be a lot better for your clothes. Make sure that it's primed by pushing straight down, and it should make a nice red line. Same with your thick. I can see that because the felt tip is still kind of yellow, it means that it hasn't been used. So I'm going to cap it, shake it up. You can hear that little agitator ball in there mixing the liquid with the pigment. Then I'm going to uncap it and press straight down. I can press, and you can see that the paint is starting to flow. So we're going to start with our thick pen, and we're going to make in the middle-ish just a kind of amorphous organic blob. The idea is to make a smooth-ish line if you can, and close is close enough. Now we're going to make another shape that kind of like a puzzle piece fits kind of up and next to the shape that we just made. It's going to be about the same size, and so I'm going to have it fit right into this little pocket, and then I'm going to have it come out and around, and then it's going to become its own amorphous blob shape, like so. And I'm going to do the same over here. I'm going to let this one come around and blob like that. This one's kind of even going off of the paper, which is fine. I can see a little bit of black through my acrylic marker, so I'm going to prime it again, get a little bit more juice going, and then I might even turn my paper. It's totally fine to turn your paper. And I'm going to make another one over here and another one over here. All of each of these shapes is fitting into the shapes that are already there, like parts of a puzzle piece. For me, it's a lot easier to turn my paper. So I'm always going to work from that very first one in the middle out. Think of these as kind of like if you had pancake batter or eggs that you were cooking. And eventually they will actually turn into flowers. This one fit in over here. This one fit in over here. And one more. Maybe two more. Great. Now we're going to use our small acrylic painter and make sure that it is primed and ready to go. Starting with really any of the shapes, we're going to turn them into flowers. We're going to put a circle or an oval, your choice, in the center. And then we're going to put lines going from the center all the way out to the edge of each blob. So there's a couple of tricks you want to keep in mind. If it helps you to turn your paper rather than to try to crank your arm, that'll make it a lot easier. You want these lines to be pretty close together. And it's nice if from time to time on your paper you prime so that you are getting a nice heavy pigment coming out of your marker. So what we are creating is a radial pattern. Gives us the opportunity to practice straight lines. And you keep wanting to come back to the center so that you're coming essentially out of the center of each of these. It's okay if the lines overlap when they're closer to the circle. That actually has a really nice effect. You're going to love it when it's done. And we're just playing with repetition and variety in order to make a beautiful piece of artwork that's super simple. You can kind of see how I started going off to the side, so I'm going to try to slow down, because usually when I find myself doing something that doesn't look so good, it's because I'm rushing. Come over and prime this one more time. I'm really trying to come straight off of that circle, straight off of the middle. Now we're going to do the exact same thing with our other shapes. Make a circle or an oval in the middle, it's up to you. Start wherever you want and come straight out. Now, just keep in mind that you are drawing lines on one of these blobs or flowers, and it's moving up against what you've already drawn on. So you might want to, so that you don't smear, just make sure that this is dry. I can see that it's a little bit wet, so I'm actually going to turn mine back this way so that my hand is not on top of the lines that I drew a minute ago that are probably still wet. Okay, the final step is that we're going to use our thick red and we're going to color in the space between our shapes. And fill in the center if you want. It's up to you if you want to fill in the center or not. Or you can also heavy up the circle. There you go. Great job, guys.